Hidden deep within a mountain forest in Germany, an abandoned castle stands alone, its walls wrapped in centuries of secrets. Surrounded by a moat and fortified ramparts, this ancient structure sits atop a ridge, looking down over lands it once safeguarded. Johann Albrecht von Eller-Eberstein brought this place to life in the years following the turmoil of the 30 Years' War. And yet, some believe an even older fortress stood here before it, though no records remain to prove it, leaving its true origins cloaked in mystery. Today we wander through its desolate rooms, piecing together a story from what remains, hoping to catch a glimpse of the lives this castle once held.
Oh my gosh. No freaking way.
Good morning everybody from Germany. We are currently in a forest in Germany. Little hilly landscape, but that's everything I'm gonna disclose for now. I'm accompanied by my homie Alfred, AP_EXP on Instagram.
Those are the ways I like to the urbex locations, through the forest,
Yeah.
sketchy neighborhoods.
And you also get a nice hike with it, you know. So we're going to this kind of fortified manor right now. I'm not sure if you can call it a real castle. In Germany they call a building like this a Burg, a defensible structure often with residential spaces. Given that it served as both a fortress and a home, castle might just be an appropriate term, as we will see when we explore its rooms and living areas in a bit. We're now just hiking, blending in with the nature, and let's see what crosses our path. We're at the end of winter right now, and spring is calling.
I think the place is supposed to be somewhere over that hill, but yeah, we just go around, I think.
Yeah, otherwise it's really gonna be off-grid
Yep.
adventure. Even though it's a cloudy day, it definitely adds up to the mystique of our adventure on our way to this undisclosed, abandoned and historical landmark here in Germany. So Alfred, we found it, man.
Yeah, it's here.
We found it.
Impressive.
Wow, look at this, guys. Completely fortified. Abandoned shed.
Wow.
It is abandoned for sure. Somebody really enjoyed having some beers over here, man. Well, at least looks like somebody had a good time over there.
Yep, I think so too. So that's our way to go.
Really wondering sometimes what the story is behind these beers. Just somebody sitting there on a summer day, probably chopping all the wood over here, and then just enjoying a nice beer. It reminds me a little bit of another castle that we did in Germany like 3 years ago. Well guys, if you haven't seen that video, there will be a little link up here. Make sure to check it out. Oh, some morning sun shining right in our faces. Thank you God for another beautiful day.
Yeah, first glimpse of sunshine, so today it's beautiful.
I actually love how spontaneous this adventure was,
Oh,
bro.
yeah, very spontaneous.
Like yesterday evening, we were texting. You were supposed to come to Belgium, but you literally came back from America like yesterday morning, right?
Yeah, yesterday morning, exactly.
Man,
Now exploring again.
guys, if you really think it's only the North Face saying that famous quote, this guy really lives up to the never stop exploring. Make sure to check his page out because yeah, he offers some wonderful photography and also really cool albums on Facebook on his page. Abandoned Places Exploration Germany, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's it. Check it, guys. Okay, I'm not sure if you can see it. Well, you can definitely see a silhouette behind those trees. That's our destination. Are you ready for it?
I'm ready, yeah.
Well,
You are?
let's freaking go. Honestly, guys, this often looks so much easier when you see it on cam. But if you have to hold the camera at the same time, I can tell you it can be quite a challenge. Wow. I just love the way the sun's now emerging between the trees. Hiking uphill for the last part. We're getting really close. Whoa. Complete wall has collapsed there. Whew. Okay. Let me draw a little bit of breath, because it was quite a way up. There are houses close. Given that there's really nothing around this place except a few houses. It's so isolated. They're not used to weird noises. And definitely not an English speaking Dutchman like me, so I have to watch my voice a little bit. That's the other house. I'll go check. So guys, Alfred just climbed up that wall. He's gonna check right now if there is an entrance somewhere. Let's hope so. I hope it continues in the other parts of the castle. Let's wait for him and see what he finds. And while waiting for Alfred, I just noticed there's this very naturally decomposed leather boot over here standing right on this little trail. Probably once used to be from the former occupants of this enormous structure right in front of me. Got green light from Alfred. That was the entrance. Yeah, he was quite ballsy doing that. Definitely respect to Alfred. He's a really great explorer. Now he's gonna open some windows, and yeah, then we're gonna start the tour of another wonderful place in Germany. Alright. Whoa. Guys, this place looks amazing. Okay, I'm gonna head in. Let's explore it. While climbing up the window, my microphone partially detached, causing some audio distortion. For the continuation of the video, I've added on-screen captions for the dialogue. And as always, subtitles are available in all languages. Guys, we made our way inside this very old fortified abandoned structure in Germany. I cannot believe the history that's still left inside here. Really, I was not expecting this. I had high expectations. Alfred is a great explorer, and whenever he shows me around, the places are never disappointing. But this place is really one for the books again in Germany. And the place is like a museum. This might be one of the only rooms that's a little bit cluttered and has a lot of dumb storage. Can't open this very properly, but you can tell the cabinets are also still filled. This used to be a bottle for wine. Wooden model plane over here. Wow. Old family photos. Still colorized. I assume this place has been abandoned, at least unoccupied, since a decade. And we're about to see that they once clearly had the ambition to renovate it. But for some reason, renovation works halted. And that is already numerous years ago. Wow, look at this. Very artisanal too. Milligan over here. Luke the roaster from Barcelos. Very well known symbol and sign from Portugal. And these look like giant covers. Oh, contain sketches. I believe that the guitar is not inside here anymore. No, it's taken out. Old VHSs. Those are even X-rays. Very old ones on glass. I've never seen that before. They must be from the generation before the last family that lived there. Candles over here during the festives. It's very traditional to place these in front of your windows in Germany with the artwork. It's mostly frames and prints, not really any painted art. Although I really like this one. And that's just empty. This is exactly the way I found it. I'm sorry, it's quite hard to move here. Hence is why the camera is moving a little bit shockingly. Really like this very old lamp. And I think that this was for painting. I really get an artsy feeling of this place and the past occupants. They certainly were very artistic and creative souls. As you can tell, all the paint, the brushes are not there anymore. It's really neat. You just bend it out. Also extend these things over here. So you could just put it upright. Little spinning wheel. Wow. Look at this vintage scale. Wow. Imagine right now. These people once lived there. This property dates back from centuries ago. And all these artisanal tools and the machinery you see were used by them back then. These were probably part of their process of generating wealth and being able to make sure this castle was built and constructed. You can tell that was all just some modern tools like charging cables and everything. Oh, and we have some very neat plates down there. Wow, look at this one. It says 1963. Beautiful porcelain ware in here. And then bills over here on the ground. Still saying the year 2005, October. Okay, so I found dates on these papers of 2004 and 2005. Many people often comment there was no dust, etc. Like, guys, there was a lot of dust on these things. It's just harder to see it and witness it on camera instead of with the naked eye. And also one thing that many people forget is that dust is mainly composed also of dead skin cells. So when life is not existent anymore in a place, it's less easy for dust to accumulate and take shape. Looks like they hand embroidered this figurine, this doll. Do you like the painting over there? I'm actually standing in front this cabinet. What is this? Cabinet? Another door with a key? Why? Doesn't make any sense. Wow. Crazy. I think these people also definitely were involved in hunting. At least definitely the previous generations. Given that there was a lot of nature over here and a lot of wild animals. Suitcase is still locked. Or it isn't. Let's see. Yeah, there is one more lock and that's New World Code. And the last remains of the paint. The rest is already completely peeled and faded. Like I say, we always leave everything like we find it. I just opened this cabinet door. Gonna leave it closed again. Head over here. I saw this little chest. Wow. Look at this painting. William Powell Fred, Derby Day 1856. Just imagine the history that has happened and occurred in this building that we are exploring right now. Here the doormat still says Willkommen in German, which means welcome. Wow. Okay, we are now in one of the main hallways that's connected with the inner courtyard through that door. All the shoes are still left there. Look, this was a sewing table. Now used for just a decorative table in the hallway. Okay, let's continue our passage through here. 1917, 1919. Wow. Incredible, guys. There was mold, there was leaves littering the stone floors. I believe that these are actually pins from a very famous German game. It's a little bit like bowling, but they call it Kegeln. Maybe one of the former owners. Little painted portrait of this man. Looks like an intelligent man, well respected. Jacket still hanging up here. Dang. Look at this mold. Also, if you're wondering, I'm wearing these scarves just for the dust, because this is probably the only part in the building where there is a little bit of mold. Somebody has replied that we need to get N95 masks. My question is, do they actually protect against mold, dust and asbestos? If that's the case, that might be a good go for us. Now back to the mold. This isn't just any mold, it's dry rot. Dry rot is a type of fungus that spreads rapidly through damp wood and other materials, breaking down the structural integrity from within. In an abandoned castle like this, where moisture often seeps in unchecked, dry rot can cause serious damage in a short period, weakening floors, walls and beams. Left alone, it can compromise the wall structure, making restoration even harder. Wow, look at this toilet. Incredible. So many frames are adorning the wall here. these historical mementos. Wow. Towel is even still hanging there. Not sure if the water is still connected. No. Whoa. Look at the decay of the wall over here. It's insane. Yet in contrast, if we enter the next room, apart from some debris on the ground, it looks like they just left yesterday. Unbelievable. Everything is left behind. It has remained untouched. Cutting planks. Wow. This is still all pristine, despite its abandonment for at least over a decade. I almost can't believe it myself. Antler. Wow. With this, it's the shape of an egg. A massive stove here. Very traditional things inside. I like how this dining and kitchen part is modernized but still has some of its original features. Toy gun. More pictures over here in this little cube. And it looks like the forest where we were just hiking in. Probably the former owner. But I do think one generation before it, and I told you they were involved in hunting. As you can tell, this is either, yeah, this is their catch, I think. Those are not their hunter ducks, they are dead. There's some more taxidermy as well. That's another sign of proof. Whoa, guys, I was like, where am I just stepping on? Believe it or not, this door, I think it leads to a basement. My thing's very heavy. Oh, it's very heavy. Oh my gosh. No freaking way. Really curious what's down there. You're probably waiting for this moment. And actually, I'm really curious myself too. Oh, there are a lot of flies in here. This hasn't been opened in ages, guys. Okay, it's gonna be dirty, but hopefully it's worthwhile. Oh my gosh, not sure if you can see, but there's flies everywhere. There's some old wines over here. 2004. Crazy. I think this is a ventilation shaft. Yeah, it is. You can feel some fresh air from outside. Crazy discovery. This basement. It's intriguing to see the perspective from this side. With again cobwebs between the chairs, burning us that they haven't been moved in years. I'm not sure if you can see it properly, but there are spider webs between all the chairs. Also, all the decoration is still in front of the windowsill. Look at these details. Wow. I think this is a lovely kitchen. It's so spacious. Grand dining part. Stove right there. This would really make a great kitchen for me. I'd be very happy with this in my future home. Although I don't like the tap. Doesn't really fit the rest of the interior. But the tile work over there is beautiful. All the jugs still on top of there. All the pots and pans, spices, ingredients for cooking. Look at all these little pots. Again, for all the spices. Vintage tents over here. So right over here is another entrance to the castle, but this one's locked from the inside. I think they mainly used it in a courtyard to get inside here. At least used to. There are not many recent signs of any owner. Doesn't want to open up. Well, at least I tried. Still have some umbrellas. Very old walking canes over here. I think this perfectly represents traditional German kitchen. Little carved wooden frame over here. Well guys, be amazed for the next room. Wow. Incredible. Very old humidity meter over here. Grand piano. This place really is a lost treasure. Little secretary's desk. This looks interesting. I'm wondering what it was used for. You can clearly see all the spider webs that have been taking shape over the past years. That over there is a very traditional piece of furniture from Germany. And so is this carved wooden chair. And look, there were still this kind of night helmets. Walking through rooms that have remained crystallized in time like this one is such an enriching experience. It's like you're traveling back through the time of history, and I'm so delighted to take you all with me on these weekly journeys to these sites. I love to do this, and it's heartwarming to hear and read that you love to join me, and you get the feeling as if you were right there with me. And that's exactly what we want to accomplish with these documentaries. Appreciate these lost treasures as one big community before they are gone and history forever. Old photo. They went on a little boat on a lake, probably with the children or grandchildren. Now look at the piano, guys. It's from Wolfram, most likely a German piano, or Austrian or Swiss, of course. I think a German one. H. Wolfram. I have no doubt that this one still perfectly works. Okay, that's all I'm gonna do, because we don't want to draw any attention. Whoa, look at
this accordion. I think the keys are ivory. Surreal. This is a very valuable piece. At least that's what I assume. Pietro looks extremely valuable. Bust over here. Some other things standing on the windowsills. And over here is sitting bars. You can tell by the leather couches. It's a little bit more modern. Over here is an open window, so I have to watch my voice a little bit, but it's an incredible room. Complete library. What a billiards table. There are so many books. Most books are from the 1900s and 2000s. There are a few older volumes as well. Impressive. Wow. Wow, oh wow. What a sight. Look at this. Guys, exploring these historical and forgotten sites will honestly never get boring to me. Each and every single time I remain intrigued when I step inside such a place. Whoa, look at this one. That's the door of the Inago Yard. And this is the gallery of the castle. That's located on the other side. So not the side where we entered, but the other side that I also still want to highlight in this video. There are so many books, so many chronicles, volumes, slowly fading to dust. You just see the cobwebs over here in the wind. This looks like a door, but we tried to open it, but we think it's a fake door, just painted. So, that was it for this amazing floor, I assume. We'll just walk through this passage together, so you can indeed see that we walked all around. Another one of these dolls. Beautiful vases and porcelain again. Whoa. Unbelievable. What a collection. There is a fortune left behind. Sony television. Gentleman's head. Or magician's head. Whoa. Whoa. This could very well be a helmet from a soldier. Although it be in great condition. I'm not sure if they actually wore these in the gray color. That's crazy though. Still a picture of their son over here. And again, if you think it's dust free, guys, it's clearly not. Just see the lines of dust as I'm touching it. Yeah, I'm quite curious what's behind there. Really thinking what it could be. I'll have to move this a little bit. Let's see where this leads to. Yeah, it's just a little storage part. Nothing of particular interest. So Right now we've really seen all the rooms in this part of the building. As the next part is where we started our tour of the interior of this place. So right in front of me is the wooden staircase. We're gonna head up to the next floor. So eager to show you all the other rooms. Also really a massive thanks to everybody, not just for making it to this point of the video, but for all your continuous support throughout the years. You have really made Explomo. Whoa. Major decline over here. Painted chess. I think it's locked, but oh no, it's not. There's nothing in here. Looks like a massive painting, and it actually is. Quite modern art again, though. Wow, I like this one. Very abstract. I think they painted those themselves. Given their creativity, it's said that they're all just slowly decaying here right now. I'm quite sure one of the past occupants loved painting and was an artistic soul, as I mentioned previously. Oh, let's not do that, since the others will fall down. It was so sad to see the damage and the creativity just going to waste. I hate to see negligence when it comes to creative things that people made themselves with a sentimental value. This is a unique upright piano from Coburg. I think it's in Germany as well. Might need to ask Alfred if he knows the city. It's another upstairs part. Another suitcase here. For the rest, you can see all the planks. Those are all remnants of the last renovation works that they wanted to start here. And they started for a little bit, but eventually discontinued. Okay, let's open this door. What? There is no way. Wow. I would not be bothered spending the night here. This looks in pristine condition, and it effectually is. Apart from some dust and from a little humid wood smell. But guys, more paintings. It's wonderful vanity. It even smells like perfume over here a little bit. The bed is still made up. Paintwork is still coloring the walls like a little gallery of their artistic passion. Really cannot believe that this building is just sitting here. Crazy. I think that this was most likely one of the women that lived there. This lady, probably one of the last owners. I'm not sure if she's still alive. Maybe she is and is in a nursing home or cannot maintain the property anymore. There can be a lot of reasons why this property sits in silence. Oh my gosh. Guys, the jewelry is even still here. It is gold plated. I'm not sure if it's real gold, but that's unreal. Normally, these things are always gone in abandoned places. Over here, it's all still present. Oh my gosh. Everything is full. What's this even over here? I'm sure there is definitely some expensive jewelry in here. I really hope that this place does not end up in the wrong hands, because otherwise all is going to be stolen. It already dates back from numerous years ago and it's on a proper protection, because what we're finding right now is completely unreal. Family photo where again the two boys who would wear their children. This was probably the couple that last owned this place. I really wonder where they are now and why they left this property. Is it a legal dispute, taxes, inheritance? There's multiple reasons that can be possible, of course. Well, where they had parts for the children. So probably one of their sons left here. I believe there are no clothes left behind, so the children are most likely definitely still alive, so they just move, I think. Can't open these up. Oh, there is some clothes left behind here too. Which really makes you think, why didn't they take the clothes with them? If they're not living here anymore, and they would be still alive, you would take some clothes with you, right? Whoa. This is probably another children's room. I really like the setup. But you can clearly tell the decline again. Major damage to the ceiling there. Pillows and blankets. This was clearly a little child's room. Okay, so I'm not sure what's behind here. Have to be careful. Given the state of this repair, the wall is almost completely cracking. Over here we can already capture a glimpse of the other part that we saw in that painting in the library room. And that's also the inner courtyard of what's following next. Oh wait, there is an attic. Okay. Might be a little strange order to explore a place, but I've not seen it yet and I'm here right now. I think I don't want to walk on this floor anymore. I can definitely show it from here. It's quite a big attic. It's also, of course, quite a big building. TV antennas and stuff. Nothing that really sparks my interest. So let's head back down. This bar is in a really rough shape. The floors are completely skewed. I really don't trust it. So I'm happy that I'm back right now. That was a little dodgy. So, how are you enjoying it this far?
Yeah, it's beautiful. There's also way more decayed than I thought if you really look into the details.
Yeah, absolutely. I was telling the people, like, on the camera it's sometimes hard to see with the dust and the cobwebs. But if you walk through it and you see it with the naked eye, then it really becomes evident.
Yeah, that's true. The pictures also thought it was going to be a very clean place, but now I see roads.
Yeah, this is abandoned for sure.
Yeah.
And I found a basement.
Oh.
In the kitchen is a door. It's very heavy. I lifted it up and it led to a basement with like wine and stuff.
Wow, okay. I'll have a look there.
So I'm not sure what's here.
Bathroom.
Uh-huh. Whoa. Looks very nice. Guys, could you imagine having such a spacious bathroom like this? With even a little stair and a part that's elevated. Ooh. Day is crazy. It's the date of this magazine, 1999. Guys, there was even another bedroom. Teddy bear over here. And look at this bedroom. Whoa. This part of the ceiling is also damaged. Discarded pieces are littering the floor. Not a wonderful painting over there. Crazy. For me, it's sometimes really hard to believe that I'm in an abandoned place right now. And also that it's not like illegal visit, but that we just literally infiltrated here and nobody is taking any measurements for civilians and it's just so easy to enter. There's even still money over here, 10 cents, 20 euro cents. I mean, it's not a lot, but it's always crazy finding modern money in a place. But Alfred was completely right. This bathroom was really a surprise. I'll just leave the door open for now since I need to go back there to make a picture. Look at this. I think this was a little child's carriage to transport the child. Whoa. There is yet another bedroom. I think the original family was quite large. Still a dress over here. Wonderful stove. Ludwig Schüffe. Full of bed linen and pillows. Wow. Have a gaze at this German flag, eaten by moths and other insects. Still hanging here. This is not just any flag. It's a symbol of the former German Democratic Republic, also known as GDR. With its hammer, compass and rye ref in the center, it represented the Soviet-aligned state in East Germany until German reunification in 1990. Now right here, the door is a little squeaky, not too bad. This is the part where the signs of renovation become evident. Tiles were tried to taken out. They wanted to renovate this bathroom over here. Probably build showers, bathtub, plumbing. And then this part was also completely tried to renovate, but you can tell it was just left in the midst of its renovations. All these remnants over here are the last reminder
people that had the ambition to renovate the chateau. I need to be careful of where, guys, honestly. I'm not sure if I trust this. Well, if you remember when we walked up here, I told you that one complete part of the wall was collapsed. That was right here. There was a lot of hay over here as well. Always wonder if there was hay in an upstairs shed like this, how in order to get the animals up here. Would they walk up the stairs? Because there are stairs here, but they don't look very animal friendly. But this is dodgy. Ooh, no. Not sure if I want to do this. Oh my gosh. These stairs are really sketchy. Wow. Okay, we made it. Look at this, guys. Such a magical inner courtyard of the chateau. Well, let's say Burg. That's actually the German word for a structure like this. Let's see what we can still find in the barn over here. Massive spinning wheel. At least I think so. Might be wrong. Just correct me in the comment section if I'm wrong. Because I do think I'm wrong. Okay, guys. I think this was a very old bathtub. A wooden bathtub where they used to bathe the children in. But furthermore, there is not extremely much to see over here. So, I'm heading to the inner courtyards. Alright. There we're standing and you can clearly tell the timber design of all the walls over here. It's so quiet and peaceful out here, it's insane. The stonework, the wooden beams, they were clearly involved in agriculture back in the day. Tractor over here and an entire workshop too. Love to see this vintage tractor. Beautiful. Not sure what this device was used for. Oh, and look at the walls over here. Clearly see the presence of black mold accumulating all the walls here. Given that it's all just open to the elements, this was all once a closed structure before it started collapsing slowly but surely. And this is where Alfred climbed up. Finally, one little part over here with some more tools. I see toilets, these metal grids over here. But I believe that was it for this part. So, yeah. I'll see you back once we make it down again, out of the courtyard, out of the castle. And then we're actually going to look at the exterior of the place and end the video right there. Okay, so we just made it out, guys, and I briefly wanted to show you the front and the side as I promised. This one used to be the main door. You can tell the structure is abandoned for sure, right?
Yeah, definitely.
It's crazy. So some garden lamps over here. It's really traditional German, right? To see such a timbered style with the woodwork.
Fachwerk.
Yeah.
Fachwerk.
English you would call it timbered.
Timbered, yeah.
Yeah.
It's very typical.
I love it. You see it a lot in the German-speaking countries. Okay, so that's the neighbor's house, so you are aware how close we are to them. Over here, it even says videos of this. Whoa! Look.
Coat of arms.
Yeah, coat of arms.
This coat of arms stone is from the builder of this castle, dating from 1666.
Well, we did already find one abandoned little trailer. There was a bigger one over here, right in the garden. Also, the remains of a little children's playground. Oh my gosh, this thing is completely skewed. Look at it. Nature has taken over. Then we have this side of the building with the entire passage that we've seen upstairs that they tried to renovate one day, but eventually they discontinued. Yeah, right now the future of this historical landmark, because it's really registered as a historical landmark, we found a style that is a historical landmark from the GDR era. Really, really precious. It's very sad to see such devastating decay, like the wall that's missing over there. But at least we documented it. Thanks to Alfred as well. It was amazing, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I think that wraps it up for this one, guys. So we're gonna hike back to the car. We're very happy that we succeeded in showing this place to you and documenting its past glory that now remains. So yeah, if you enjoyed it, you know the drill as always. Do not forget to smash the thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel right down below, and also leave your thoughts in the comment section, guys, also about some items that I maybe didn't know what they exactly were. I really appreciate it. Also, our team is working very hard on member exclusive videos and special perks for members, so we really appreciate the support. And for the people that signed up recently, thank you so much. You are really making it one step closer for us to travel more over the world and even intercontinentally and make our travel plans come true, so we are able to share more adventures in this beautiful world with you. Thank you so much, guys. I will see you on the next one. And like to say in Germany, Auf Wiedersehen! Ciao!